Thanks for tuning into the Texas Scratch King channel. In this Bad Bitch Tuesday edition, you will hear about the champion Dusty and the grand champion Jackie. Let us begin with Hidden Hollows champion Dusty. Champion Dusty won her 3 shows in 1 year and 4 months' time. Also slowing down to have a litter of pups in this time. Todd and I never realized how much we had asked of her until a few days after her championship show. We set up her first into our good friend Confederate States of America with his crazy bitch, a one-time winner. We never looked at Dusty until this night. CSA's Crazy never knew what hit her. Dusty took over and had her way with Crazy. Finally, at the 28-minute mark, Crazy was picked up and ran a 3-legged courtesy scratch. Lonesome Okie hooked us into our second opponent. Clambar Boys Jubilee, a 2-time winner. We traveled again for this one. To their back door to take Jubilee of the circuit. These 2 bitches were ready for battle. Dusty was in the best shape of her life. It was an all-out war until Dusty got a hold of Jubilee's stifles and breaks her down. At 38 minutes Jubilee stands the line with Dusty taking best in show. We went for a rest this time and had a litter of pups but were ready then for number 3. After 7 weeks she was off the pups. 7.5 months after her second win we were talking with our bud at Crazyside Kennels and looking for number 3. KSK's champion Nino and Brickhouse's champion Benny Blanco was set and we wanted to be a part of this. We hooked into work Kennels Mamba again traveling to our opponent. Dusty was so ready and so was Nino about 24 hours before showtime when he escaped from his room and gets on Dusty in the hallway coming back from outside. We were all hyped up after the 30 seconds they were together. Dusty and Mamba met like a tornado, says Havana Chico. These bitches were set to destroy each other and they were nasty. Mamba keeps up with Dusty and gives her back every bit she is dishing out. At 50 minutes. Work asks for a scratch to continue and at the 55-minute mark Mamba turns and then stands the line at the 1 hour and 10-minute mark. Champion Dusty went through all she could and I had to look to Brickhouse's Angel for assistance. Robin stayed with Dusty all night while Angel worked on her and by 12 hours after her win Dusty comes back to us. Champion Dusty is now retired and will be with us for the rest of her days. HHO's champion Dusty a life of luxury because had she not been the caliber of dog she is, none of this would have been possible. Keep scratchin' Hidden Hollow. Now let's hear about Blanco's grand champion Aces Jackie. Aces Jackie, or Boots as my wife called her, was born up north on the yard of Donruss Kennels on August 2, 1995. Aces Jackie was sired by Rumble, a game and talented stud who is tight Mountain Man's champion Homer Blood, and out of the very rough Pigskin who is tight Cowboy champion Jeep. Both sire and dam have a little grand champion Joey Blood for a boost in there. Boots was picked out by Angel Martinez, a friend of mine, who I brought up to Donruss because he wanted to buy a pup. Angel raised her until the age of 5 months old when he said he no longer wanted the fiery little bitch that kept shaking his male's ball sack. He also didn't like the way she looked as we both agreed she was the ugliest little bitch around. I paid him $4 $100 payments on her and she was mine. I let her share a kennel with my other 7-month-old male and they were fine for a couple of months. Until one day when the wife and I were away at a function and Boots decided that she doesn't want Damien sharing the kennel anymore and breaks his leg. I got scared since Damien had 20 pounds on her and he tossed her around until she takes his bottom end out. We separated them after about 10 or 15 minutes of what we saw upon our return home and took Damien out. When I let Boots go she rockets into the fence. I tell myself, well if she wants it I'll give it to her in a few weeks. So that's what I did. We tried to put a Colby Bad Billy Boomerang cross on her but they didn't go. So one of the guys says his Flo will have that bitch for lunch. Well, they started but Boots picked her teeth with Flo so we put a bigger dog on her after that. That was bump number 2 and it lasted 27 minutes. I healed her up and a month later we go up north where she came from and give her 10 with a Deadwood bitch. She scratched on 3 and we had to get her other leg stitched back on. 4 months later, I gave her 15 with my rough Bad Billy bitch and they make a nice mess but Boots was giving up 10 pounds and was still coming to the top. I then bred her to a Deadwood Art male. After her rolls, bumps and schooling I got a call from Funky Medina. We had known each other for some time. I was green and he had 4 or 5 under his belt so he says. I got a 34 in 30 days. Well, I said no problem and we agreed on each other's words. With no forfeits. We get it on with this tight Maloney, Dirty Mary bitch that has been around the block. No handles. No out of holds and his bitch in control for the first 8 minutes. Then Boots hits the armpits, chest and shoulders and his bitch sings and turns. Then Boots breaks the chest and it's all over. His bitch is playing dead so I scratch to win at 21 minutes. His bitch didn't make it. Well, it's time off for a couple of months. I call out Crunch Kennels one-time winner Tilly. We are all set to get it on and they pay the forfeit, so I am still looking with 3 weeks on my dog. Broadway Jack convinced me to go into some high-class stuff in order to get recognition. So I call out Captain America. After he checks me out and checks some weights. We're on at 36 pounds. He brings some of his double dead game chopper stuff that takes a killing for 1 hour and 40 minutes. Scratches 6 times. Looks dead 5 times and shits 3 times but just won't pack it in until she dies in the corner and collapses. So that's number 2 for Boots. She took a bad, heavy chewing so she is on off time for a while. I bred her to Champion Asia and didn't get any pups, so no free rides at Blanco's kennel. I talked to IBM. And asked, are we ready? He said hell yeah, I'll be down to get her tomorrow. He had worked her for number 2 and she was not running hot or breathing hard at 140 and she was strong and pumping. So he was to work her again. Number 3 is lined up with Crunch and Law Town because they want another chance. So the money's up and we are ready when Law Town wants to forfeit again halfway through. Big P Crunch said no way, I'm not looking like an ass, that bitch is going. So we get it on and they bring a tight Chinaman bitch that is said to have it all named Lacey. We let them rip and I can see IBM. Has Boots perfect. As usual. Lacey turns after a bit of action. Handles are made and she comes across. She is getting outclassed and she starts singing. Law Town is making excuses about conditioning and Big P Crunch says it's only gone 10 minutes. She is just getting whipped. No excuse needed, she didn't quit yet. She sings along but keeps scratching and we are all confused, but they feel she can't win so they pick up a confused game bitch and Mass Combine declares Boots as champion. Aces Jackie with win number 3 in 25 minutes. We tried to breed her and while we wait, we get a called out by B-Line. They want traveling weight and a higher wager. We tell him to hold on because we aren't sure if she is pregnant or not, but if she isn't we give them our word we will call them. Well, she didn't take, so we gave them a call and it's on in 8 weeks with 1/2 £2 for traveling for them. It was to be a 4-match show until the law pays a visit 2 hours beforehand. So all others are postponed and we change the spot for ours. With B-Line's cooperation we travel back south and get it on. Both dogs are on weight and B-Line says they brought this 2-time best in show winner Sissy just for Boots. They are confident and start the betting. Sissy is protesting in 6 minutes and scratches twice until at 24 minutes she is a cold noodle and they offer us a scratch to win. We do. And Sissy collapses. I thought she was going to be buried, but apparently they saved her after the hour and 14-minute ride. Poor IBM. He worked his ass off for less than a half hour of action. We were advised to try and hook her again right away before the word of a quick kill gets out and then we would never get her hooked. We call out 20 reputable kennels and 8 champions within 1/2 pound of her weight with no luck until I call Hargroves at War Eagle Kennels. He doesn't hesitate 1 minute and it's on. So IBM is hand walking again now with the help of his stepson Scuff, who is racking up a record of his own. The day of our event Hargroves never shows, so we get the forfeit after a 7-hour ride. We call and try everything to get him to go through with this. So we tell him if he shows at the said time and date and makes weight we will give him back his forfeit. Well, he did, so it's on a full week and a peak later. He brings his 2-time winner Hargroves and the Gator Boy Simba, who is said to be a hard-mouthed, rough bitch. She was all that and then some. She was a limb-punishing bitch that did to Jackie what she usually does to others. For about 25 minutes Jackie gets busted up. Broken front paw. Broken stifle and just plain chewed on. What she Simba slows down. Jackie starts to figure this backend specialist out and she starts doing what she does best. Hitting the chest and throat. Simba tired due to lack of air because her throat was choked off and turns at 41-minute mark. Handles made and she comes like a rocket only to be overpowered by Jackie, who was working a down dog until 58 minutes when Hargroves offers a scratch to win. We scratched and now it's time to help Hargroves save Simba. This is a rough bitch that I would not mind owning myself. I doubt that she would quit. This was definitely Jackie's toughest match as I wasn't sure if we were going to win this one. IBM and Scuff's conditioning helped to bring her to the top again. She isn't even 4 years old and made grand champion. Not bad for an unrespected $400 bitch that nobody liked or wanted. Her next battle is ROM status. Now let's get her bred. Hopefully she will pass that style on and can make some more wins because so far our record isn't where we want it to be. Asmaked. IBM and Scuff. Thanks again for listening to the Texas Scratch King channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and share the video. Until the next time my friends, as we always say, never submit to life and keep scratching every time.